Our next recipe is, we can't leave the holidays without some sort of fun dessert type, treat. But this also is something that can be replaced with, instead of having alcohol. So, many of us celebrate the holidays and celebrations with, some alcohol. And in terms of oncology care, it's always best to speak with your doctor if that's something that's okay for you to have, because there are some medications that can counter-interact. And then just to always remind everybody that for women, it's 1 serving, and for men, it's 2 per day. So if you don't have one, it doesn't mean you could, wait until later on and have all of them at once. But coming back to kind of that healthy immune system, part of, supporting our health is also including vitamin D in the diet. Okay, so there is lots of research showcasing that this is a necessary part. Again, it's not the one and only thing, but there are some foods that you can get vitamin D. So some of these include things like salmon, trout, different types of seafood, but also it's fortified in milk products. Okay, so you generally speaking, whether that's a milk like cow's milk or an alternative like soy or almond milk, these also have vitamin D sources. Now that said, most people don't get enough vitamin D through food, so it is important to talk to your doctor about potentially taking a pill supplement. But if you are, getting it through food, this is one example of where you can add it in. Which is in our hot chocolate.
We're going to be making, and Jennifer, I see you're simmering some too, so I'm hoping you're making along.
Yeah, I'm making mine with soy milk because I drink soy milk. So
perfect. Yeah,
awesome.
I'm actually using almond milk.
Yeah.
And Steph, how would you know if the milk or a milk alternative is fortified?
Awesome. Such a great question. So when you look at the nutrition facts label, it will usually say in the nutrition facts label, vitamin D. And generally speaking, if it's calling itself a milk product, then there are food regulations as to how much must be added. So it's generally for 1 cup, about 45% of your daily value of vitamin D. So 2 cups, and you're almost at 100% type of thing.
Beautiful. Okay, so we are making a Spanish-style hot chocolate. This is not your ordinary hot chocolate. This is definitely not your powdered hockey rink hot chocolate. This is the good stuff. So we're going to be starting off with, again, whatever milk or milk alternative of your choice, like Steph mentioned. I'm using almond milk. Jennifer's using soy milk. And to that, we are going to add some dark chocolate pieces. So I've got some like dark chocolate chunks here. Jennifer, using like chips or where are those?
Well, they were little squares and I kind of broke them up.
Beautiful. So
awesome.
add them to your milk. Now you want to be simmering this on a lower heat and try to whisk it as often as you can. With soy milk and almond milk, it's not as risky to scald. Regular dairy milk will scald pretty quickly, so you do want to make sure that you're whisking it quite often. And then we're just going to make sure we melt that through. And again, as long as it's on a low heat simmering, you should see it melt pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, mine's melting really nicely. Yeah.
And we're going to add some cocoa to that as well. You don't have to add cocoa, but if you have it.
I have my cocoa here.
Beautiful. Yeah, nice. So put that in about the big.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's been lots of research about the benefits of dark chocolate on heart health as well. The only thing is, it's with dark chocolate that's about 75% cocoa or more. So not to discount the yumminess of milk chocolate, but really the benefits of those flavonoid properties in terms of heart health are coming from the dark chocolate. So I'm a huge advocate of dark chocolate. You know, I've got lots of patients saying I need that little sweet something after dinner, and having a little, you know, piece of square is definitely a satisfying way to, you know, for that sweet tooth, those sweet tooth cravers.
Beautiful.
So,
Now,
Jeremy, I saw in your recipe you had like cornstarch.
yes. So that's usually what's added to the Spanish hot chocolate to get it like really nice and thick. Now you can also add arrowroot powder, which is what I have. Are you using?
I'm using cornstarch.
Yeah. So
I can prepare powder. So
yeah, add about a tablespoon. Arrowroot powder is just another thickener, or you can use like potato starch as well. You don't have to add starch, and it's just going to be on the thinner side. But if you want it closer to that traditional Spanish style hot chocolate, then we're going to add a tablespoon in here, and make sure we're whisking that through as well. And again, whisking it through the lumps just until they dissolve. And once this continues to simmer, or as this continues to simmer, you're going to see it thicken up a little bit more. So it should only take a couple minutes. I'm going to whisk that through. And I'm going to talk about the finishing touch here. Now you would usually see, I mean, that's it, and it's a delicious hot chocolate. But we're going to spice this up. We're going to make it a little bit more interesting. So the beautiful thing about chocolate is it pairs so well with different spices like cinnamon, cardamom, black pepper works really well. I love adding cinnamon and even a little chili. So a little chili will heat a little bit of that that hum at the end, which is like really interesting, and it's going to make you go back sort of for a couple more sips. So I'm adding cinnamon and chili. Jennifer, are you spicing it up with something?
Yeah. So I chose I chose nutmeg, cinnamon, cayenne, and black pepper.
Wow, beautiful.
Is that too much? Is it too much?
Go. That's awesome.
All right.
So
you could taste test before you give it to other people.
I'm adding about a half teaspoon of each with mine. And then whisk that through as well. And you should be able to smell those spices. I don't know if it's hitting you, but as soon as it hits, that warm.
Smells great.
And I'm gonna simmer mine for probably about another minute, just until it's a little bit thicker. You can simmer it until it's the thickness that you like. I would say as long as it coats the back of the spoon really well, then that's gonna be really, really nice and rich. So I'm gonna go for another minute. And then in the meantime, Steph, what's one of your favorite treats, your favorite holiday treats that you enjoy?
Oh, I mean, chocolate all the way. I love cookies too. I love donuts. I love Cinnabons. I really have a sweet tooth. So, but people always make fun of me because I like to pick at things. So I'll have it for a length amount of time, but continue to pick. So that's my vice.
And Jennifer, how about for yourself? Is there something like traditional for the family that you guys prepare?
So I'm vegetarian, so we don't usually do the turkey thing, or well, at least I don't. But we usually do a stuffed squash as well. But this year, I'm thinking I might try your recipe, Jeremy, because we always do the same one, and maybe it's getting a little boring. So it would be fun to do something different. So nice. I'm going to try that.
Fantastic. Yeah.
I don't have a huge sweet tooth myself. I'm not a sweet tooth person. I like more on the salty side of things. So yeah.
Actually, and that's actually a good point. I'm going to add a small pinch of salt to mine as well. Again, the smallest little pinch is just going to elevate the chocolate. It's going to make it taste, and all those spices. that's optional. But mine, you can see how it's boiling or it's bubbling.
Yeah, mine's not really getting very thick. I'm going to try to show you what it looks like. Can you see it? Or no? Maybe not.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. So turn up the heat a little bit just so you start to see some more bubbles.
Okay.
And that'll just take, that might take like a minute or so. But as soon as it starts to simmer, it's going to activate that starch, that cornstarch. And then you get it really thick.
Okay.
So show you mine.
But the color is so dark and nice looking.
Oh, yes. And
yeah.
nice thing about this as well is I don't have like a massive sweet tooth. So this is going to be a little bit on the spicy, almost bitter side because we're using the dark chocolate. Mm-hmm. If you do like it a little bit sweeter, then you can add a little bit of honey or a little bit of maple syrup, or even you can even like add some dates or puree some dates in there if you like.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, I'm not a big sweet tooth, so this is going to be really, really nice. And we're going to pour this. So I'm going to pour this into a glass.
Okay.
All right.
Looks delicious.
And
Great.
what I meant by coating the back of the spoon is if you put a spoon in there.
Yeah.
You can see.
Yeah, mine's not. I don't know.
Run your finger through the middle. See how?
Yeah.
So it might just take a couple more minutes of it simmering, but we're almost done. So cheers to both of you. Thank you, Jennifer, so much.
Cheers.
It's my pleasure. That was so fun. And I wish everybody a very happy new year. Looking forward to 2021 for sure.
Yes.
And thanks for having me, and everybody have a happy holidays, whatever you're celebrating. Thanks for having me, and we're going to be enjoying this hot chocolate now.
Yes.
And we'll love to have you back in the new year.
Yeah.
Anytime.
Thank you for sharing, and thank you everyone for joining us.